Before climbing high moral grounds and claiming religious superiority over the rest of human beings, it's important to know to whom the Quran is talking to, and be acquainted with pre-Islamic age in the Arabian desert, which is also known as the Age of Ignorance. All scholars and Islamists seem to agree that if you've watched the movie Mad Max Road to Fury, then you already have a fair image of how life used to be at that time. The population of Arabia consisted of two divisions. The first division was the many sedentary tribes and small towns, living in rivalry and endless cycles of vicious vendettas. The tribes constantly raided each other over possessions, women, and slaves. Under the total absence of political organization, in the event of a crime committed, the offended party took law in their own hands against the offender and administered justice the way they saw fit. The only authority Arabs acknowledged was the authority of chiefs of their tribes. The authority of chiefs rested solely on their personality and character, and was moral rather than political. The primal urge to protect family members and the tribe's honor led very frequently to acts of horrendous cruelty. The second division of the population was a floating population composed of nomadic Bedouins. They were backward in the civil and the political sense, but were also a source of anxiety and fear for the sedentary population. They lived on plundering trading caravans or were paid tributes to ensure safe passage. They were also paid to work as mercenaries in the frequent tribal raids and wars. The nomadic Bedouins lived as pirates of the desert, and they were notorious for their unrestrained individualism and anarchy. Slavery was an economic institution of the Arabs. Male and female slaves were sold and bought like animals, and they formed the most depressed class of the Arabian society. Needless to say, Arabia was a male-dominated society. Women had no status of any kind other than as sex objects. The number of women a man could marry was not fixed. When a man died, his son inherited all his wives except his own mother. And because women were a possible cause of shame and dishonor in case they were taken captives among the loots of raids, some would just bury their newborns alive when they found out that they were girls. Living in Arabia in the Age of Ignorance had one instruction to the game: get a sword and a horse and be the baddest desert alpha until you hopefully, but probably impossible, become a chief of a tribe or at least hold a status that keeps you safe. And amidst this environment of mayhem, Prophet Muhammad sought to turn such free-for-all, blood-shedding society into one unified utopia. So before applying God's words to Muhammad literally, it is crucial to understand what kind of society the Quran is talking to. Before applying the Quran literally, it is crucial to understand the moral intended behind those stories. Quran indeed requires a level of knowledge before attempting to decipher it. And it's definitely not for anyone who plays GTA.